What's up, guys? We're here in the tech. We're working on this 1998 Acura Integra, or not Integra, sorry, it's a TL. Integras are cooler. Right here you got the MAP sensor here. I had to do some preliminary testing because there was no wiring diagram telling us which wires were which. But the yellow and red wire right here on the far left is the voltage reference signal, so the voltage supply. The green and white is the ground, and then you have the red and green is your signal return. So that's where that is, and in a moment we'll go ahead and get to testing.
Signal voltage from the harness. There's going to be our red and green wire right there. We have our pin in there hooked up to the multimeter, and we're going to take our ground on the battery, and we get 4.8 volts. So we have an open in the system because the harness is disconnected. So that's our source voltage getting there.
Okay, so right now we have my red test lead hooked up to the signal wire, and then obviously the black one to ground. At idle right now, it's reading at around 0.8 volts on the MAP sensor signal, and we are right around 17 or so inches of mercury of vacuum. Okay, so my partner's gonna go ahead and snap the throttle, and we're gonna put a slight load. And you can see it kind of jolting. See, it just went up to 2.5 volts, and the vacuum went to zero inches of mercury. So it seems as though there's a little bit of leeway for some sort of boost, and that would allow it to account for different types of pressures that may occur or any other situation. Okay, so just to kind of mimic a light load on the engine, we just disconnected two of the coils and created a misfire so the vacuum would actually read lower. So we're at just around 15 inches of mercury, and it's reading at around 1 volt.
And you can see that when we plug it back in, our vacuum goes up. So we're working on a 2017 WRX with the 2-liter turbo, 5 and 6-speed. We are going to be testing the mass airflow sensor, which is included in the intake air temperature sensor harness. They're a shared unit. So to test the mass airflow sensor, you're going to probe into pin 3. It's going to be your signal wire. That's going to be the middle wire, make it easy. So you're going to probe in, and then you're going to connect your other lead to ground, and you're going to get, we have 0.3 volts, and the vehicle is off and not on.
Many minutes of research trying to figure out which wires are for what in the MAF and IAT circuit. We ended up writing this out. So this side would be the very left from the back side of the connector, so that'd be the very left side right here, and then vice versa. So Chuck's gonna go over and go through what all the wires are for, and tell you what it's about.
So the MAF will run on battery voltage. So you get 12, depending on what your battery's at or when the car's on. And then the one directly to the next one of that is going to be your ground for the MAF. And then you get your signal wire. And then here you have your IAT. You have your 5 volt source for your IAT and the IAT ground. And you don't need a signal wire because it's just a dual resistor type system.
Okay, we're going to go ahead and start this up. Now that it's idling, I'm going to go ahead and connect the lead. Shooting at about 1.8 volts. And now I'm going to go ahead and have him idle it up to 2,000 RPM. As you can see, it kind of rose a little bit. And then I will also go ahead and ground the signal wire next with the test light and see what the vehicle does. Okay, real quick, I have the jumper wire grounded. I'm going to go ahead and touch it to the pin here on the signal wire. it doesn't do anything to the idle, and that could be because it has the MAF sensor in there, and as a failsafe, it backs up to the MAF sensor. So we have the MAF sensor unplugged. We're gonna go ahead and start it, and well, try to start it and see if it runs, and if it does, how well it'll run. So it seems to be running the same, and it's probably the same reason as before. It's using the MAF sensor as a failsafe, and you've taken the readings off of that and disregarding the MAF.